Before cities, before kingdoms, there was a village, lost in time, nearly forgotten. And within this village, a secret was buried, a secret that has haunted those who dared to speak of it. Tonight, we go back 1,000 years, but be warned, what you hear may change the way you sleep tonight. Stay with me, because what happens at the end, that's where the real horror begins. Imagine a small village, 1,000 years ago, surrounded by thick, dark forests, trees towering so high they block out the sun, casting shadows even at midday. At night, the village would be swallowed by the woods, the only sounds, the howling wind and the crack of branches. They lived simply until the forest began to change. The animals grew silent, the trees felt alive, and something began watching them. That's when the first person disappeared. Now, don't you love how in horror stories, people never just leave when things get weird? I mean, oh, the forest is acting strange? Let's stay here forever. The villagers stayed. They had nowhere else to go. One by one, the villagers began to vanish. No trace, no sign of struggle, just gone. Every night, someone would disappear, and every morning the remaining villagers would find only footprints leading into the forest, where none of them dared to follow. The forest was calling them, and each night, it claimed another soul. They began to barricade themselves inside their homes, but still, the disappearances continued. The village grew smaller and smaller. Parents held their children close, but even that wasn't enough to stop the inevitable. And then, one night, the last family remained. The final night was eerily calm. Too calm. No wind, no sounds from the forest. But there was a knock on the door. A soft, rhythmic knock. The last family stood frozen. The father, brave yet terrified, grabbed a weapon, a useless piece of wood, really, and approached the door. He opened it and found nothing but darkness. He stepped outside, calling out to the missing villagers, but only silence answered. As he stepped further, the darkness seemed to swallow him, just as it had swallowed the others before him. The mother, now alone inside the house, heard the soft knock again, this time coming from inside. That's when the door slammed shut. No one from the village was ever seen again. Travelers passing through found the homes abandoned, doors wide open, but not a single body. The village had vanished into legend. Some say the forest took them. Others believe the villagers themselves became part of the darkness. But the real question is, if you visited that place today, would you make it out? Speaking of which, how far is the nearest forest from you? Now, don't worry, I'm sure your forest is totally normal. No ancient, soul-devouring curse or anything like that, right? The village may be gone, but something still lingers in that forest, waiting, watching. Some say if you listen closely, you can still hear the knocks. Soft, rhythmic knocks. Just like this. Would you open the door? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this story, then press the bell icon for latest video